Hey guys, it's Moban Kiki, aka the Kaizen Creative, and today we'll be doing some gesture drawing with a brush pen. I'll be filming all of the pictures that I do as I do it. And yeah, you can do it with me or just sit back, relax, listen to me talk, listen to me yap. Hey guys, so I started out with this Archer and I was trying to figure out how I wanted to start the drawing. And I had chose to start around his shoulder and his arm because those were the most clear shapes that I saw immediately. So I made that known first and then just kept going from there. As I'm going about these drawings, I want to talk to y'all about what I've been getting into lately. I've been reading The Artist Way, and I've been learning about the morning pages and the artist states. I haven't done the first lesson yet, but I've read the first two chapters and I'm making it a routine to read part of it every morning and do those morning pages. The morning pages have been helping, and I'm only 3 days in, which is crazy to me. And I've journaled before, but not in the way to where it's like, let's see, how do I put it? Like, just a constant stream of consciousness. Like you see in the comic when the person just keeps on talking and talking, I guess you could say like on Watchmen. And that was just, I don't know, it's different. And it's like meditative for me. I'm not sure about y'all, but I do have ADHD, diagnosed with it. I'm not self-diagnosed. And to me, it's like, it just makes it meditative because when I get to write and I'm actually like jotting my thoughts down and I'm getting to put words to what I'm feeling and like what I'm really thinking and seeing where it leads to. And coming from a background where like academic achievement was the number one goal for pretty much everything. And that caused me to really only know how to write in like a formal way, not in like a, oh, this is how I feel about this, and that. I write more in like facts and what I think should have been the outcome of things, as opposed to how I'm feeling about it and why I feel that way, and actually putting the emotions into words. I know that's actually like it's very, what's the word? It's very rare for men to actually like learn how to process their emotions and like put words to certain emotions other than things like anger and happiness. Like, we only know the surface level emotions, which is crazy to me because there's a full range of emotions and emotions are fleeting. So it's important to learn how to identify it. And it's hard to do that on your own, but it's also hard to do it with others when you're used to being alone or you're used to not having other people to talk to, or the people you used to talk to are no longer here. And I find that crazy because like I'm an artist, and art is all about emotion, getting people to feel certain things. And it's hard to get people to feel certain things when you barely feel it yourself. Like, especially when it comes to the joy we have about our characters, our comic, and our stories. Even when it comes to talking about the things we like me liking Dragon Ball, Tokyo Ghoul, Death Note, Soul Eater, and so many more anime. Anime's been a real big part of my life. And like, I've watched more anime than I've read comics. I've watched more anime than I've watched Spider-Man, which is crazy because Spider-Man is my favorite superhero. Man, I got so many pictures of me as a kid just making the Spider-Man hand sign just because, Tobey Maguire had me in the chokehold from all three movies. Yes, I did like Spider-Man 3 at the time. I still do. He's supposed to be acting like that. Like, come on. Venom got him. I was 4 years old when that movie came out. Like, you really expected me not to like it? Like, Tobey Maguire as Spider-Man is what, like, Miles Morales is for, like, the kids now. For me. You know? And I'm pretty sure y'all can relate to that too. Especially if you're an early 2000s baby. Me personally, I was born in 2002. October 7th, to be specific. I'm a Libra. You could say I got a way of trying to balance things. Pun intended. But back to the topic at hand. So, I had a few revelations as I was doing my morning journal, my morning pages today. And generally, they say at least do 3 pages. I wrote 7. 7 pages. My hand didn't cramp until the last page. The first day I did my morning pages, my hand was cramping before I even got to the second page, but I was writing a lot faster. I took more time with it this time. I took more time with it the second day too. And the second day I did, like 4 pages as opposed to 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4 pages. And like, that's crazy to me. How I go from 3, 4 to 7. And to discuss like those revelations, like I mainly had them today right before I started recording this. The topic would be neglect. And I've known neglect for a very long time. And I think most people do. Men and women. Just everyone. And I say that because we often neglect the way we feel, what we think, and just what we really want, And I honestly feel like the more we neglect ourselves and our needs, the more we lose ourselves because we're no longer nurturing ourselves. We're no longer keeping up with ourselves, And, these are the things we hear all the time. But it's different when you can feel it on a personal basis and when you can come into terms with it and be present with it. Due to neglect, I find it really hard to be present in the moment. Maybe that's why I draw. Maybe that's me trying to stay connected with what I'm doing. I've never been the most talkative person unless I'm around my friends. Because when I was at home, when I was younger, I didn't have any siblings my age. Me and my sister are 14 years apart. She's older. And, by the time I'm getting older, she's out the house. And even with that, that age gap, there's just a difference in the way she thinks and the way I think. She's a millennial, I'm Gen Z. There's a big difference. Our mom is Gen X. Shoot, both of our dads are Gen X too. So, like, there's just a big difference in how we think, how we were raised, and just the way of life is, what our priorities are. But I do think millennials and Gen Z are very similar in the fact we were taught that grades are everything. We need to go to school. We need to go to college, get a degree. But, what's that degree worth right now? Because I can't even find an actual entry-level job. Entry-level ain't even entry-level no more. And I feel like a lot of places that are doing internships or claim their entry level don't take into consideration the people who didn't have time to do internships during the time they were in school, or the people who can't afford to go to school. And that's just absurd. Then there's the fact that these internships, a lot of them end up being unpaid. And, we're taught that doing ones that are unpaid are not worth it. Some are, I won't lie. And it's only worth it if the experience is worth it, but not if they're taking way too much of your time and, just claiming all of your work. I was an illustration major. At first I was animation when I went to Columbus College of Art and Design. And the main issue I had while I was there was that there were little to no internships that were for illustration, comics, or animation. And the ones that there were mainly graphic design. So the career fairs, it was pretty much no point in doing that unless you had a minor in graphic design or you were a graphic designer. And yeah, sure, illustrators and comic majors, all of them are inherently graphic designers to some extent because, we have to know composition and what looks good together and what doesn't. But we're predominantly using different skills and different programs. Like most of the graphic designers I know use Photoshop and Adobe InDesign. And I know how to use Photoshop, but the way graphic designers use it is a bit different to me, especially when it comes to the way they include text. And even when it comes to using software like Illustrator, industry standard. But guess what? I only had 2 classes that taught it. I learned more from the second class than I did the first class. The first class was VisLit, visual literacy. And all of those had to be done online because that was the online section of that class, which was so irritating because we just had to do these things that we call Lori lessons. And when I say none of us liked them, yeah, sure, it got us somewhat familiar with the programs, but I think it's easier to learn it when the teacher's presently there with you to teach you how to use it and showing you where you'd use it in the professional realm. And I see people who go to other schools like SCAD who are actively using these programs, as opposed to my school. We did not. And that just creates a very big disadvantage for the people who go to my school when it comes to using software like Illustrator. And even when it comes to using software like InDesign, unless you're a graphic design major. I haven't done nearly enough work in those programs to be yeah, this is my portfolio here. I don't even have at least 7 pieces that I know for sure I could put in my portfolio that are graphic design oriented. So why are most of the internships that are coming to the school graphic design related or fashion related? And it's nothing against these majors. I just find it weird that we should be getting, plenty of opportunity for all of the money we spend just to go to the school. And, so many people are in debt. And we aren't taught how to use these programs efficiently in order to erase that debt over time so we can, secure a job. And then going back to the fact that entry level job is not entry level. Like, come on, bro. Why do I need 3 years of experience in your entry level? Where are the ones that are actually accepting people who are first years? Like, I get it. Y'all want someone with experience, but I have to find a way to get experience, especially if you want me to have that experience from a professional field. Like, I graduated in May last year, and I've applied to so many places, and I still haven't secured a job. Like, I'm still working the job that I was working during my senior year of college. I'm tired of working there. If I'm going to be 100% honest, I'm tired of the food service. Just the food service industry in general. Like, come on. I've been serving food since I was 16 years old. Since I first got a car. Because I wanted to make my own money so I didn't have to rely on others for money. And it's like, no matter what, we always end up having to rely on others for money. What an absurd thing. And some may be like, oh, you should have paid attention while you were in college. I did. I did every assignment. I did each one. Try to learn the programs, regardless of the learning curves, regardless of what I was or was not taught, regardless of what resources were actually available from where I'm being taught it. And that led to a lot of self-learning. I've been doing that a very long time. I like to learn things. But at the same time, I'm coming here for a reason, and I'm not getting what I need to out of this experience. And don't make me get started on the job market right now. Oh my gosh, it's irritating. Like, it ain't even just the fact that entry-level jobs aren't entry-level. So counterintuitive. It's just like, bro, there's not that many jobs. Like, the ones that do show up automatically have a bunch of qualifications that make people not qualify, regardless if they have a degree or not, regardless if their portfolio is good or not. Like, who's getting these jobs? And how much of it is due to nepotism? How many people are these people hiring are actually qualified? And how did those people get those qualifications? I need to know. It's like there's some sort of gatekeeping, and I don't appreciate that at all. And just due to that, I'm trying to do my own thing, get this YouTube thing going. And I need money so, I can pay bills, travel, go to conventions, things of that nature. And I need the material to be able to do that. And knowing myself, I'm working part-time right now, so I can do the art thing. And like, I'm blessed with that opportunity. But it still feels like an endless cycle. Like, I'm just pushing up. I'm going up a upward hill. Like I'm Sisyphus, Like, I gotta try to maintain my whole business. Like, I need to do promotions for my comics and books. I need to draw and upgrade my portfolio. I need to improve my art because I know it could be better. And I'm more than willing to put in the work to make it better. And that requires a lot of time and energy. Let's not forget about the energy. And I have to really manage my time and energy super well. But it never feels like I'm using that energy efficiently. Like, sure, maybe it's because I'm thinking of it in the terms of whether it's efficient or not. Classic capitalism. But like, it's what we're living in. Gotta make ends meet somehow. And I'm not willing to keep finding serving jobs, even though like it pays more. I live in Ohio, and here, if it's not serving or a warehouse job, you're going to be making less than 20 an hour. And I'm not sure how the cost of living is for y'all, but the way it is in Ohio, in Columbus, Ohio, making less than $20 an hour is not it. Not at all. Not worth it. 100% don't recommend. Not worth the time, not worth the effort. It's the way I think about it. Why would I give my time, the most precious thing that I have in my life, time, to a job that's not paying me enough to get a house, to get a car, to get the things I need in order to jumpstart my own business, the things I need in order to live comfortably. And it be the most stressful jobs that pay so little just for you to be uncomfortable outside your job. It's just constant stress. I'm not with that. We spend money as quick as we make it, just due to necessities. Like, I have my car payment and the insurance, right? All right now. So with that, that's half my check. Just working part-time, right? And both of those together isn't even half of how much it costs to pay bills here. So that means if I worked double what I'm working, I still would not be able to have my own house. That makes 0 sense. I could be working full time and still not be able to get my own house. I would need a second job. Most people that I work with end up having a second job. Why do we always have to work? It's work, 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 work. We not Rihanna. It's just real frustrating to think about, because it's like we've been lied to all of our lives. All of our lives. Go to school, go get higher education, focus on them grades so you can get paid more than the average person. But sorry to break it to you, we're still looking for a job. I'm not trying to be like people from the past generations who stick with the jobs that they hate. Like, I know y'all see it. It ruins their mental health so bad. Like, all they can think about is work. All they can think about is going to work. Remind you, they don't even like their job. What sense does that make? There's a thing called quality of life. You know, we have a hierarchy of needs. And sure, things be a means to an end, but that means shouldn't end with me having a deteriorating mental state. And they wonder why Gen Z be calling out so much stuff. Like, come on. How much cognitive dissonance do y'all have to not see that? To not acknowledge it? Like, what's really going on? Remember when we were kids and, you know, they try to tell us that we're doing all these innovations and things of that nature to make life easier. But like the state of the world right now, everything's being made harder. And people expect rich people to help us. Like, they're only thinking about themselves. They only think about things that generate income. So why are we putting them in the power when that income only goes to them? It doesn't go to the people who are part of this country. The people who are working hard to barely be able to fend for themselves, but actually need the money to help their friends and family. Like, come on, bro. It be the Nepo babies who talk about hard work as if they had to work hard for the money they got. There's just a very strong lack of empathy from these people. And I don't understand it. What happened to helping people, bro? What happened to that? All this money that's just being thrown away when it could be used to help people. And they'll claim that this money is used to help people. Whole time it's used for them and their own personal gain. Like, this world's crazy, y'all. It's crazy. The most I can do at the end of the day is see the absurdism in all of it. It's just, we live in an absurd world. This experience is absurd, and I just gotta see the bittersweetness of it. It's absurd. And the absurdity of the world will either lead you to a path of nihilism or to a path of existentialism. It's opposite. And if not one or the other, somewhere in between. Because we got to remember, the world's not just black and white. And if you're still here, I appreciate you for sticking around, listening to me yap, watching me draw. If there's anything you want to talk about, feel free to leave a comment. I'll be commenting back. I do respond. And yeah, please like and subscribe. And I'll see y'all next time. Peace.